Welcome to the annual West Virginia Thoroughbred Breeders Association Awards Dinner. Every year, it seems like we have just more and more to be grateful for, and especially this year as we've listened to a speech tonight about how we are moving forward in the political arena, and I'm extremely gratified by that and the dedication and work that people have put into that. But here we are tonight, we're going to honor the breeders this evening for the hard work and the performance on the racetrack as we recognize the superiority in the breeding shed as well as our pedigrees. I'm going to be your MC tonight, and I am going to detail the worthiness of our individual runners this evening and highlight their respective accomplishments on the racetrack. Before we begin, though, I would be remiss if I did not thank Eric Zimney for providing the video this evening. I also would like to thank our esteemed host here, Ken Lowe, and I would also like to thank the Clarion staff, guests, and our dignitaries tonight. And a special recognition award goes to Miss Darla, who has put together a lot of hard work and has moved us into the 20th century here in West Virginia. You know, every year I come up here and I speak about talent, grit, determination, money earned, and success. This year is no exception. However, I do want to talk about some of the horses that this year, and we will talk about extraordinary performances, humble beginnings, lofty expectation, worthy adversaries, and this is our West Virginia story. And I would be also remiss if I didn't talk about a little bit about some things that have happened to myself recently with a conversation with someone who passed away recently very close to me. And they told me, they said, you know, Jeff, I've never understood why you have been fascinated with the thoroughbred horse industry for 50 years. And I was taken back by that comment because they knew me very well. And I said, well, you know, have you ever been awakened in the middle of the night? A premonition, a potential alarm, a bad cup of coffee, maybe the stress of being a thoroughbred owner, maybe the stress of foaling time that we're in this time of year. If anybody in here had those type of things, I'm sure most of you have. And did you ever get up, put your boots on, probably put them on the wrong feet, run out the door, struggle with a light switch, tripped over a step on your way to the car, couldn't find your keys, headed to the barn quickly? I'm sure everyone in here has had those type of things happen. I call it midnight mayhem. And that's when we're waiting for a foal to be born. And what makes it so special, as I looked at this person, I told him, for me, Darla, what do you think it is? It's a miracle. It's a miracle of birth. It's a miracle that we've all experienced, as we've all seen it firsthand. And so I think collectively we're here tonight, really, and we're going to explain what happens after that mystery of life and what we're going to do to pay homage to it this evening. And it's the profession that we all have chosen. So without further ado, let's go to our first category tonight. And this is going to be our 2-year-old filly of the year, West Virginia bred. Presenting the award will be Mark Zell, and we will watch one of this youngster's races on the screen now.
And they're off on the 32nd West Virginia Breeders' Classics night. Sherwood Lady fires right out for the lead with Amelia Bedelia and Bufham's Bell on the far outside. Skylar's Trick away in fourth, and Battleground Star tugging her way through. She'll go up to be third, and 3 wide into that clubhouse turn. Then comes Parisian Diva off the pace again tonight, and the early trailer is Flatter Me Owen. Up top, a 50-1 shot. Sherwood Lady setting the pace. The opening quarter, a swift 23-1. Sherwood Lady runs the point, a neck behind her. The daunting presence of Battleground Star, the 1-2 favorite, is waiting to pounce with 3 furlongs left to go. Then comes Amelia Bedelia and Bufham's Bell. Parisian Diva launching a 3-wide bid. Then comes Skylar's Trick, and the trailer is still Flatter Me Owen into the turn, and Battleground Star waits no more. She takes over a quarter of a mile from home. The half in 47 seconds flat. Battleground Star working on a 2-length lead. Her stablemate, her closest pursuer, Amelia Bedelia. Then Bufham's Bell and Parisian Diva, who did not go on. It's Battleground Star in front, a furlong from home. She has a 3-length lead over Amelia Bedelia. Battleground Star coming past the 16th pole. Amelia Bedelia is still trying, but not getting to her stablemate, Battleground Star, and Arnaldo Boca Chica to take the West Virginia Triple Crown Nutrition Breeders' Classic.
You know, talked to the board a lot, and the board made a lot of tough decisions this year. I know, every award is contentious, and we all want to win. Everyone that's a breeder wants to win and be successful because this is what we do. And I know there were some tough decisions made. This, however, was one of the easy ones, because this filly was undefeated in 3 starts. She won 3 races. She did win, as we just saw, the Triple Crown Nutrition Breeders' Classics, which I myself put an immense amount of credence in. Any horse that wins on Breeders' Classic night, because that is the highlight of our year. She also won the Rachel's Turn Stakes, and she beat another nice filly this year called Parisian Diva, who I did get a lot of comments about and some phone calls about. And I also want to congratulate Jeff and Susan Runco for the job they did, because they did run first and second at that race. I know that's a race that's back in October, but that was a tremendous performance. This 2-year-old filly, Battleground Star, is by Astrology. She is out of the mare Sudden Desire by Hennessy, and she is what I consider grace combined with talent. She made this juvenile. This was a prohibitive favorite, in my opinion, for this honor. As I said, undefeated. It's hard to pick anyone else. If Jeff and Susan would come up and accept the award, Mark Sell will present it to them. We're going to do all of the awards over here this evening, if you don't mind. And so, 2-year-old filly, West Virginia bred of the year, Battleground Star. Owner, Coleswood Farm. Trainer, Jeff Runco. Breeder, Coleswood Farm. Congratulations. The champion 2-year-old boy of 2018 was also a very deserving candidate.
And they're off in the Vincent Mascarelli Memorial Breeders' Classic. From the outside, Bound to Be Good, showing speed with Windsor's Fort, but a crush of horses lining up there and bouncing off of one another as they sort themselves out into that clubhouse turn. Not for Sand, holding that inside position, and he'll go up to take the lead as they make the bend into the clubhouse turn. Burnin' Ring of Fire away beautifully. He sits off the leader just by 3/4 of a length. He sits in second. They're 2 lengths clear now of Bound to Be Good and Blushing Owen, who races in behind horses from 4th. Windsor's Fort sits 5th. Then comes True Crossing in 6th. The gap of 5 lengths back then to Bootsy Boy. Now on the move is Midday Man. After an awkward beginning, he has good momentum heading past the 3/8 pole. Then What a Story, and the trailer is Hard Being Me. The quarter in 23-1. Burnin' Ring of Fire has taken over. The half in 47-1. Burnin' Ring of Fire at 6-5 sets sail for home. 1/4 of a mile left to run. Bound to Be Good and Windsor's Fort give chase second and third. Midday Man making a huge move from the back of the pack. He's made it up to 4th, but still has 3 lengths to find on the favorite Burnin' Ring of Fire, who turns them in. Midday Man sneaks through an opening on the inside and now comes after him. It's Burnin' Ring of Fire and Midday Man. These 2 to decide it in the Mascarelli Memorial. Burnin' Ring of Fire, Midday Man can't get to him. Burnin' Ring of Fire wins the West Virginia Vincent Mascarelli Memorial Breeders' Classic.
Our 2-year-old male of the year is Burnin' Ring of Fire. He won his initial start on the grass at Laurel Park, which kind of leads to my comment about him, as his calling card was versatility and tenacity. I think he's definitely a horse to watch this year, because I think he possesses a lot of things that young horses need. And I also like the fact that the maturation process on him will certainly, in my estimation, kick in. This horse is owned by Ray Pennington III, trained by Ollie Figgins III, and was bred by Ray Pennington III. Congratulations. It seems like each year we just see more and more better West Virginia bred horses. This one certainly was completely amazing. This was a winning machine. Not only has Late Night Powwow dominated the headlines in 2018, but this year she has gone on to capture the imagination of the racing world. And for me, calling West Virginia my home right now, I would have to say that this filly has beyond compare right now. 3-year-old filly of the year, Late Night Powwow. We're going to watch one of her races on the screen right now.
And they're off in the Cavada Breeders' Classic, and Ghost Fever fires right out for the front, and Moonlit Song is going to stick right with her. Then comes Jackie's Notion. Late Night Powwow away in 4th. Starlight Flight has her hemmed in at the moment, and Anna's Bandit at the back of this 6-pack of classy West Virginia bred fillies and mares. As they dash into the clubhouse turn, it's Ghost Fever in front. Ghost Fever and Moonlit Song gets the perfect stalking trip from second. She's in the clear and a half length behind the speed of Ghost Fever. Then comes Jackie's Notion. Anna's Bandit has moved past Late Night Powwow, who sits in fifth, still on hold 2.5 lengths away from the front, and the trailer is Starlight Flight. The opening quarter in an easy 24 seconds flat, and it is Ghost Fever with Moonlit Song keeping her company a half length behind. In that second position, Anna's Bandit has moved past Jackie's Notion, and here's Late Night Powwow. Late Night Powwow waits no longer, and with a rush, she's up into third, and 2 lengths away from her stablemate Ghost Fever, Moonlit Song, and Late Night Powwow about to be 1-2, and they set the stage a quarter of a mile from home. It's Moonlit Song and the Charlestown Oaks winner, Late Night Powwow, right alongside of her. These West Virginia bred heavyweight mares turn for home together. It's Moonlit Song and Late Night Powwow. This is what we came for. It's Moonlit Song battling gamely with Late Night Powwow. Late Night Powwow's got her. Late Night Powwow, wow, in the Cavada. She ran down Moonlit Song, who gave her everything.
Nancy Camp is our award presenter. Last year, wins in the Sylvia Bishop Memorial, the $300,000 Grade 3 Charlestown Oaks, the West Virginia bred Cavada Breeders' Classic, the Willow on the Move at Laurel Park. All have started conversations that she may be the best filly that's ever run at Charlestown. I know that's probably a very strong statement to make, but I think she's probably got the potential to back it up, and I think she already has. She was born a stone's throw from the stable gate. This is our 3-year-old filly of the year. 3-year-old category, Late Night Powwow. Her last race, I know it didn't count in 2018, but her last race, and because I'm a handicapper, was 107 Equibase figure in the Barbara Fritchie Stakes. Anybody wants some of that, come get it. Late Night Powwow. Javier Contreras, Breeze Easy Stable. Javier Contreras, trainer. John D. McKee, the breeder. Cindy will accept for John. Congratulations. Three-year-old boys category wasn't quite as easy to decipher as the 3-year-old filly category. There was a lot of contention here. I think there were some deserving candidates. Finally, the board elected to go ahead and have co-winners in this category, and we're going to watch their races respectively on the screen now back to back.
In line. And they're off. Slow start there early along the rail for Cash Exchange up on the outside. That's going to be Punch Your Brother. And Punch Your Brother takes over the early lead here. Opera Night is running second. Down to the inside, Handsome Hunt has good position. They're going at a pretty good clip here as they go into the clubhouse turn. And it's going to be Handsome Hunt. He's got a good position in third. On the lead is Punch Your Brother, 23.55. Opera Night couldn't be sitting any better. He is in the garden spot, laying there second, just tracking our leader. Moving on the outside, Dr. Tucker's making a big move into position. Jeffrey Scott is fifth, about 4 lengths off the pace. Under a drive, True Air to his inside. Jackie's Man, Cash Exchange. He is not in the race tonight. And on the lead there, Punch Your Brother. He's going to have to hold off Opera Night, 47.30, and Opera Night goes to the front. He's under left-handed urging. He's going to extend the lead to 2.5. If there's any shot here, it could be Handsome Hunt trying to get off the rail, and Dr. Tucker 3 deep. Opera Night takes some for home. Punch Your Brother on the inside, fighting back for second. Jackie's Man looking for racing room. Handsome Hunt coming on late, but it's Opera Night. He lulled him to sleep, and he sang him the lullaby. It's Opera Night going away here. The Runco entry runs 1-2 as Handsome Hunt clear.
And they're off in the Coin Collector. An alert beginning for Jack Braden Rishi and the favorite William and Mary away well too. Dionysus Chalice in between, and Castle 5 also right there. Opera Night forwardly placed. He's in fifth and only 2.5 lengths away from the top spot, which is hotly contested. Further back comes Eagle Pride, then Light the Storm, Mr. Jacoby, and the trailer is True Air. They race for that far turn, and the favorite, William and Mary, is up to take the lead over Dionysus Chalice. He whistled a quarter in 22-1. William and Mary up top here by a length over Dionysus Chalice, who's now 2 lengths behind in second. Opera Knight sets down for the drive, and here comes Opera Knight up and after William and Mary. Looks like these two will have it to themselves, turning for home. It's William and Mary, and Opera Knight going to make him earn it, but look at William and Mary level off. William and Mary, a confident look back from Antonio Lopez. The Coin Collector trophy's coming home to Taylor Mountain Farm. William and Mary dominates the Coin Collector by 4.
As I mentioned earlier, the compromise in the racing business is a necessity. Thus, we did award a tie in this category. We'll go with Opera Knight first. This is a son of Gattipardo, out of Night Rainbow, who is by Evening Chris, owned by Germania Farms, trained by Jeff Runco, and the breeder Germania Farms, Mike Olson. This was a hard-knocking horse with a penchant for the dramatic. I think he is one of the most glorious-looking individuals that we've had on the racetrack here in years, and I believe as the distances lengthen, this horse's ability will even get better. I even look for him to maybe to see a turf race this year. Second in the Coin Collector, second in the Levitt and the Lottery Breeders' Classics. This is our co-favorite of the year champion, West Virginia bred 3-year-old Opera Knight. Congratulations. Presenting the trophy to Diana McClure. And Diana McClure broke that horse. He was a winner of the Tri-State in January, came back and won the Coin Collector, was third in the Levitt. Unfortunately, we didn't have much of him at the year's end, and as we say, we do put a lot of credence on the Breeders' Classics. However, this son was brilliant, and I think probably also very deserving. Our co-champion in the 3-year-old boy division, William and Mary, owner, Taylor Mountain Farm, trainer James W. Casey, and breeder James W. Casey. The older mare champion this year, interesting horse. We definitely had a lot of worthy candidates for sure. Sometimes I think that the older filly and mare category has just dominated. It certainly does in the headlines. And this was a very, very gritty performer. Glad to have her connections here tonight. The No Gluts, No Glory stable, Gina, Rob, and John. Good to have you all with us this evening. And we're going to watch one of Anna Bandit's races right now.
And they're off in the Sadie Hawkins, and the favorite Moonlit Song away very smoothly from the outside. Jackie's Notion goes with her early on, and Anna's Bandit right there too, but it will be Jackie's Notion in front by a length and a half under the wire for the first time. Moonlit Song stalks her just off of her flank from second. Anna's Bandit forwardly placed in third, then Scottish Dennis. Romantic Cork rides the rail into the clubhouse turn. Rockin' Gold is next in sixth, then Lies and Scandals and My Sweet Charity at the back. 8 lengths would cover this field of classy West Virginia bred fillies and mares. Jackie's Notion's up top by a length and a half. The quarter in 23-2. A reasonable pace being set here by Jackie's Notion, but a West Virginia bred horse of the year stalks her every step of the way. Moonlit Song just a length back now from second. Anna's Bandit drafting in behind the leaders, and they've opened up 4 lengths on Scottish Dennis, then Rockin' Gold. Romantic Cork put to a drive, Lies and Scandals, slips through an opening on the inside, and My Sweet Charity at the back. It's Jackie's Notion, and Moonlit Song now asked to pick her up, and here she comes. The half in 47 seconds flat. Jackie's Notion in for a fight with Moonlit Song. Anna's Bandit still in with a chance too. She's third and a length and a half away. Moonlit Song strikes the front. Jackie's Notion tries to hang on and go with her. Anna's Bandit down the center. Moonlit Song. Here comes Anna's Bandit. Anna's Bandit and Moonlit Song. These two to decide it. Anna's Bandit. Anna's Bandit's gonna get up. Anna's Bandit and the X-Men, Xavier Perez. They shock Moonlit Song in the Sadie Hawkins.
I think in a word, I would describe Anna's Bandit as game. I've seen her run, and I've also seen her run down in Maryland. She is a true grinder on the track. She won the Conover Stakes at Laurel. She won the Downtown Allen and the Sadie Hawkins Stakes at Charlestown. She also had placings in the Very One, the Maryland Million Distaff, the Politely Stakes, and the West Virginia Breeders' Classics Cavado. A very worthy candidate, a true warrior. John, if I can have you up here with Gina. Congratulations for our older filly and mare of the year, Anna's Bandit. Diana McClure presenting the award. Champion, West Virginia bred older male of the year. Whew, what a nice horse. And I'll tell you one thing, I'm going to take my hat off to you for the job you've done with this horse, Tim, because this is one temperamental rascal. We're going to watch a race right now of Runnin' to Love Ya.
And they're off. In the West Virginia Breeders' Classic and Runnin' to Love Ya away beautifully. He goes right out for the lead. Rocket Road and Via Leone away second and third. From the far outside, North Atlantic saves some ground. He makes it all the way down to the inside, it appears, from fourth. Deftly guided down by Arnaldo Boca Chica, and he'll sit fourth in the early stages behind his chief rival, Runnin' to Love Ya. Then comes Jeffrey Scott and Awesome Faith. Brass Bull is at the rail. Then Weekend Liberty, Blazin' Luckin' on the straight and narrow. Runnin' to Love Ya shows the way past the stands for the first time. It's Runnin' to Love Ya by a half length over Rocket Road. Via Leone sits right outside of his stablemate from third. North Atlantic, ground loss will not be an issue for him. He made it all the way down to the fence, and he drafts 2.5 lengths in behind the leader, Runnin' to Love Ya, after a 23-4 opening quarter mile. Up top, it's Runnin' to Love Ya with Rocket Road now 3/4 of a length behind. Via Leone is the first one to engage Runnin' to Love Ya, who tries to kick right back from him. North Atlantic now takes that third spot from Rocket Road, who did not go on at this time. Then Awesome Faith, Brass Bull, Weekend Liberty on the move, inside of Jeffrey Scott on the straight and narrow, and Blazin' Luck at the back. It's Runnin' to Love Ya and Via Leone 1-2, and Runnin' to Love Ya starts to get away from Via Leone. Arnaldo Boca Chica starts to scrub on North Atlantic, who's coming 3 wide with his run. The half in 48-1, 3/4 in 113-1. Runnin' to Love Ya about to enter uncharted territory for him. He's in the final quarter of a mile of the Classic, and North Atlantic is about to draw up alongside of him. The two favorites have it to themselves, just over a furlong from home. It's Runnin' to Love Ya, and North Atlantic put to a fierce drive to try to come catch Runnin' to Love Ya, who's still strong. It's Runnin' to Love Ya. He's going to run away with the West Virginia Breeders' Classic. He scores by 3 on the wire over North Atlantic. Weekend Liberty photo.
For me, the most special thing about Runnin' to Love Ya is not only the job that Tim and Judy did with this horse, but also the fact that he dispelled the rumor that Fibersong horses couldn't go beyond 4.5 or 6.5 furlongs, because I can't tell you, when I sat in the racing office weeks preceding the Breeders' Classics, that's all I heard. He won't go that far. He won't go that far. He'll stop. He's going to find a far turn. And I just sat there and listened, because that's a special horse right there, folks. And though he's temperamental, he is dynamic. And that's what I can describe him as. He closed out the year with wins in the Frank Gall Memorial, the West Virginia Breeders' Classics, and the Awevo Stakes. In 2018, he started 9 times, 8 wins and 1 second. I'd like to have those in my barn too. He was a man amongst boys this year, and we are going to present the award for older male to Graham's Racing Stable owner, Tim Graham's trainer, Leslie Cromer. You might want to ask to ride this one. You still look like you could do it, girl. Runnin' to Love Ya, older male. Dennis Finger will present the award. Champion Sprinter of the Year is always a tough category. I don't know why, but I'm always infatuated by the 4.5 furlong, and I like the 4.5 furlong horses. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the races are too short, the horses get in trouble, they don't break out of the gate, I got one post. But for me, I like them. It's the speed, it's the sheer speed that those horses possess. And everybody has to live with the same thing. Everybody lives with the same, I didn't break sharp, I went wide, or whatever. But there were some very deserving candidates in this category, very deserving candidates. 2 horses actually, by years in, I think probably were separated by maybe a head. And both the horses, I think, could have gotten this award. I think the board did a good job, and they had difficult circumstances to work under, in all sincerity. Because Leslie Condon and a horse called Scythe, who she knows one of my favorite horses, because I love his forehead. I mean, the horse is the cutest horse I've ever seen. So, but in the end, the board went to Sprinter of the Year, and we'll watch one of his races right now, the Venerable Aaron's Tap.
And they're off in the last enchantment. The favorite Aaron's Tap away well, and he heads off for the lead. Dionysus, Chalice, and Scythe also right there with Utah Street, also in the early mix. Last Plunge. Then comes Georgetown Cat, Rip Current, Cat Come Home, and Braxton at the back. A fairly compact field of 9 West Virginia bred sprinters as they dash past the 3-ace pole. The favorite Aaron's Tap is up to seize the lead, and he has it by a length and a half over Dionysus Chalice through a quarter in 21-4. Aaron's Tap sets sail for home. He's up top by 2 now. Dionysus Chalice is next. Then Utah Street Scythe parked out in the 4-path. Then Last Plunge, Georgetown Cat, Braxton, Cat Come Home, Rip Current. They're all giving chase to Aaron's Tap, who turns them in. Aaron's Tap's up top by 5, and it's just a matter of how far from here. It's Aaron's Tap past the 16th pole under Arnaldo Boca Chica to take the last enchantment. Hit by 4 other side.
Sometimes it will take Aaron's Tap a stride or two to get moving out of the gate, but once he does, he obtains full speed, and he is a tremendous talent. I looked back at his form when I was readying myself for today, and I thought, you know, we were talking about 4.5 furlongs, but I forgot about how good this horse had been at other distances. At 6.5 furlongs, he ran 117. At 7 furlongs, he ran 124. Those are uncomparable times when you consider the distances at Charlestown and the fact that we've got a 3/4 mile racetrack. And as you saw there right now, at 4.5 furlongs in 51, I mean, that is the gold standard for that distance. So he's a worthy candidate, and as I said, we had a couple this year, and it's always tough. You know, somebody's going to finish first and somebody's going to finish second. It's just the game of horse racing. But this horse did get a bad trip in the Breeders' Classics. I'm sure you watched that race closely, as I did, Jeff, and it was a tough one. It was a tough pill to swallow there. But for everything, I do think this horse was a worthy candidate. He is by Northern Afleet out of Tap for Alley by Pleasant Tap. The owner, Smart Angle. The trainer, Jeff Runco, and the breeder is A.B. Bloodstock. Presenting the award is going to be John Funkhauser. Aaron's Tap, Sprinter of the Year. Well, for me, this is the category that I always probably wait for the most, West Virginia Bred Horse of the Year. I know in recent memory we've had some great ones. There have just been some outstanding horses that have run in my brief tenure at the Charlestown Races and Slots. And I know it was a tough one because I sat there the other night and I started reminiscing about some trips I've taken in my lifetime, and I remember being in California and they had a match race back in the late 70s. And it was a fillies, 2 fillies ran that day. It was a East Coast, West Coast. And I thought to myself, man, can you imagine, because we got the racing secretary here now, we might be able to pull this off. But can you imagine a head-to-head duel between Late Night Powwow and Running to Love You? I mean, okay, somebody doesn't like to run fillies against the boys? Tell Winks that. Yeah, so anyway, we're going to watch a race of our Horse of the Year, Late Night Powwow.
And they're off in the Cavada Breeders' Classic, and Ghost Fever fires right out for the front, and Moonlit Song is going to stick right with her. Then comes
Shimmering Aspen, discreet to see sharp racers, Mrs. Cable Girl, and joined by Everlasting Secret, showing early footed Ms. Locust Point is now set up there, and Ms. Locust Point is grabbed the lead. Ms. Locust Point from Mrs. Cable Girl by just a neck, and Moonlit Song on the inside in third. Everlasting Secret settles back up there, 3 wide and fourth. Late Night Powwow in between horses next in fifth. Shimmering Aspen has dropped to second last position, though only half dozen lengths off the lead. Discreet to see is last well, 3 wide the turn, 7 lengths from front to back. 22.02 at opening quarter mile into the turn. Ms. Locust Point. Ms. Locust Point tries to shake away from Mrs. Cable Girl by about a length and a half. Another 4. Moonlit Song is in third position as they run and turn to the top of the stretch. Far outside, Late Night Powwow. Late Night Powwow moves into third while widest of them all. Into the stretch now. A half mile 45. About to be 48. Homeward bound now. And here's Late Night Powwow. Late Night Powwow powers off the lead. Shifting a little bit, but pulling right alongside of her. Late Night Powwow, wow! Wow, what a finish she is! Late Night Powwow, Moonlit Song, and Late Night Powwow. This is what we came for! It's Moonlit Song! Wow, in the Cavada!
Not too much more you can say about Late Night Powwow. She's a daughter of Fiberson out of the mare Holy Powwow by Indian Charlie. She just about did everything she possibly could You know, when I was a young man in Maryland like you, John, I can remember the Barbara Fritchie and the General George Stakes were two of the most coveted races for sprinters in the country. And she just dominated recently. I know we're talking about 2018, but her win streak continues now. Probably one of the most phenomenal training jobs I've seen in recent memory by a man who is an impeccable caretaker. Late Night Powwow is our horse of the year, owned by Javier Contreras and Easy Breeze. Javier Contreras, the trainer, the breeder of Horse of the Year, Late Night Powwow, John D. McKee. Javier, if you'll present the award, please, sir, to Cindy. Horse of the Year, folks, Late Night Powwow.
And they're off in the Sylvia Bishop Memorial to an absolutely perfect start. And the favorite Late Night Powwow away much better tonight. But she'll seize the early lead to Sia Manana and her stablemate Northern Heat. Those two speed off from Late Night Powwow, who lets this speed duel develop right in front of her. Then comes Bees Wild Cork, and I'm a tricky one. She's close up tonight from fifth. The trailers are Had a Double, and at the back, Dark Empress. They make the bend into the clubhouse turn, led by Long Shot Northern Heat. The opening quarter in 23-3. Northern Heat sets the pace by a length and a half over Sia Manana. The leader stablemate Late Night Powwow ambles up comfortably in the three path, up into third, just 2 lengths away from Northern Heat. Bees Wild Court drafting in behind the leaders from fourth, and these top four have opened up 4 lengths on I'm a Tricky One, who's already put to a busy ride. Then Had a Double and Dark Empress, they race for the turn. Northern Heat taken on by Sia Manana, and Late Night Powwow still in hand under Freddie Peltrochet. Now he begins to scrum on her for her run, and here she comes. She responds and she takes off. Late Night Powwow takes the lead right away from Sia Manana, who's left back in second. She tries to battle on. Northern Heat is left back at the inside in third. Bees Wild Cork angles out to try to come catch Late Night Powwow, but Late Night Powwow got the jump, and what a jump she got. She comes rolling past the 16 pole in front by 4.
She comes rolling past the 16 pole in front by 4.
Before I give the award for Broodmare of the Year, I just would like to thank Freddie Peltrochet and Vanessa showed up tonight. Freddie's the regular rider of Late Night Powwow. Freddie, stand up and take a bow there, buddy. Say, that's a great horse, man. You know, it would be funny. Javier told me one day, we were talking about Late Night Powwow, and I said, well, you know how trainers are. Oh, I knew he was the best horse I ever had. I knew it. I knew it when the horse first came in my barn. I always love those stories. You know, they're true. And but I laughed because Javier told me, he said, you know, I really liked another horse. He said, but Freddie kept telling me Late Night Powwow. Man, watch this one, Late Night Powwow. Pretty smart guy there, because it's turned out to be something special. Congratulations, Freddie. Well, we've had Horse of the Year. Well, somebody had to be the broodmare of that dynamic individual, and it was the mother of Late Night Powwow, Holy Powwow. This is a multiple graded stakes winning mare now. It is Mother's Day at Bow Ridge Farm every day for Holy Powwow. Broodmare of the Year, Holy Powwow. Cindy O'Bannon, come on up here for John D. McKee. Mr. Lowe, if you'd step up here, please. Told you Stallion of the Year was all him. Stallion of the Year. We all wish we had one like this. This is unquestionably the hands-down winner this year. I looked at the other night and I thought, okay, here's a horse that had 15 starters on Breeders' Classics night. 15. Wow. Biggest stage of the year. Won the Cavada with Late Night Powwow. Second with Moonlit Song. Won the Classic with Runnin' to Love Ya. Second in the Dash with Blue Plaid. Second in the Onion Juice. You had a good night that night too, Miss Elizabeth. I think you like Fiber Song too. Our Stallion of the Year, Fiber Song. Bow Ridge Farm, John D. McKee, Cindy O'Bannon accepting. Dennis Finger presenting. We're going to move on now to the West Virginia Breeder of the Year. Okay? And this is an operation that just has no equal. Mr. Casey has been one of the most prolific breeders in this state for a number of years. He has been on the front lines of every political debate we've had, and he's just been an outstanding individual to know and to be around. And our Breeder of the Year, West Virginia Breeder of the Year, Taylor Mountain Farm with James W. Casey. Clissy Funkhauser presenting. Your Breeder of the Year, James W. Casey. Once again, before we wrap things up, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Enjoyed this evening once again with you. A lot of deserving candidates, a lot of more than deserving candidates tonight. And we have a special recognition award this year. One of our chairpersons for our legislative committee, one of the most hardest working ladies who's not even on the board. She volunteers her time to help this group. And I'm proud to know her and proud to recognize her tonight. It is Mary Sell, our special recognition award. Diana McClure presenting. We still have a bar, sir? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out tonight, folks. The bar is still open. Enjoy the company. We've got some great folks here tonight. Thank all the worthy candidates this evening, and please do not forget the silent auction. It's going for an exceptionally worthy cause. Thank you very much, folks. Good night. Drive safely.
It's the late nights. It's the early mornings. It's working in the sunshine and rain and snow. It's the dedication, the care, the hours of training that led to the winner's circle. It's our job, our passion, our lives. We are the horsemen. Valley Equine Associates is a proud sponsor of Horsepower. With over 50 years of service, Valley Equine provides experienced care in large animal medicine and surgery. Valley Equine's 2019 Spring Vaccination Special. Have our veterinarians vaccinate your horse. Get a free visual evaluation with your questions answered. Pay at time of service and save 10% or more. $10 off through May 25th. Call 304-725-1471 today. Valley Equine Associates, where your horse's health and well-being is our top priority. Breeding, training, racing. A stable of champions, Taylor Mountain Farm is a proud supporter of Horsepower. 80 years. 4 generations. A West Virginia legacy. O'Sullivan Farms is a proud sponsor of Horsepower.